Okay, another quick one. Right, the dreaded wind-up mechanism. Alright, so we'll talk about some of the stuff that can maybe catch you out there. Alright, so this is a 2011 Outback Hawk. We've had it since new. Actually, we got it on one of the run-out sales. Now they're getting rid of last year's model, that sort of thing. Anyway, so the first thing that's going to catch you out right from the get-go is you're going to snap a cable if you leave one of your roof clips on. Alright, the way I sort of look at it is, if you're the person doing the winding, alright, yeah, sure, someone can go around and undo the clips, alright, your travel buddy, the missus, whatever. However, the way I look at it is I double check their work, okay? So obviously the new campers, your wind up is down the back now, okay, and these ones, gotta stop saying obviously, these ones are at the front. Alright, so it's not too hard. Yep, if you've got all the clips undone, alright, they give you the thumbs up, whatever. Alright, and they may be behind the camper there, you can't see them. Alright, so all you have to do is look down both sides, alright, and just double check that they are undone. Alright, now it may not be that person's fault, more or less. They might have said, yeah, I've undone it, alright, and they've left a clip up. Imagine the roof down, they've left a clip up like that. Alright, that's all it takes. Righto. The other way to avoid it is, if you start feeling resistance, righto, don't try and stay away from the urge of just pushing on, okay? Anyway, so that's the first one I'll get you. We'll go and have a look inside. Okay, so we're inside now. As I said, this is a 2011 Outback Hawk. So we won't be able to run through all the scenarios, okay? But the main thing you should do is you need to work out where all these items are, okay, in your camper. Yeah, and they're in the four corners, all right? But you need to, if you haven't already, you need to know how to access all those 4 points in your camper. Sometimes it'll just be a matter of, like in our camper, all right, we just remove the top of the little step that gets up into the main bed. All right, now the new campers, yours is going to be down the other end, all right, but you know, makes no difference. Now sometimes you can access the other 4 points underneath your couch, perhaps, depending on the layout, right? Or you may have to access it through a cupboard, all right? Now, if you have a similar layout to this, basically there's 4 little screws along the top against the kickboard, and then you should be able to take it off. All right, and that's the top there. All right. Now I had mine pretty loose, as you can see. The screws are still in there. I didn't take all 4 screws. I'll just knock it back in. All right, and I've never had a drama, like I've never put my foot through it or anything like that. All right. So that just goes back on the top, sort of that sort of fashion there. All right. So just a small star screwdriver. Alright, and then what you find underneath, right, now with depending on the model, alright, but inside they pretty much all look the same. Alright, so you have the plate. Let's add that torch there for later. Okay, you got your plate, you got 4 eye bolts, and then your 4 cables. Alright. Now those bars that you see there, obviously they're hollow, righto, and that's where your springs slash push rods, alright, they're housed inside those tubes, alright, and then they go up the wall, okay, then through the timber, okay, into the cavity on the side of your wall, which then goes up and then pushes up your lifting arms that we spoke about yesterday. All right, and they're swaged on there, right, around your little eye bolt. All right, So when you do your inspections and you're carrying out your service and your little check, which you should, okay, or the next time you're going to open it is when you're going to drama, all right. So check your little eyelets, all right. Now, as you can see, they're not sealed, all right. If you replace one, all right, or whatever, don't be tempted to weld that shut or to buy closed eyelets. So what that is a weak point, right, engineered into the system so that hopefully that eyelet will open before you break a cable, all right, before you break a cable. Now, as you can see at the back there, all right, they're all different lengths, right, because that's obviously your adjustment, and they're different lengths there because of different cable runs, okay, different distances to the other three corners, right, and obviously that push right there is heading up to push up the front right hand corner, as we're looking at it, more or less. All right, so then obviously you want to check your nuts, right, make sure your nuts are tight, right, and you get a little lock nut at the front. And like I said, this camp has been running around since 2011, right, and it still looks like the day it was bought. Now, people want to accessorise, and of course they bloody do whatever they want with their camper. I like a clean roof, as in a clear roof. I don't like things on my roof. Now, the camper came with the fire hammer already on it and the bed end flies, right? But hey, look, that's up to you, all right? You're entitled to bloody accessorise the thing. You know, so you do what suits you best. Okay, so they're the things you're looking out for. Check your little eyelets, all right? Make sure they're not starting to open up. If they are, don't be tempted to try and close them, because obviously then you're going to create heat and you're going to create a weak point in it. So just get yourself a new one, okay, a new eyelet. Very easy to find. Right, the other one here is you have your plate, which has the main cable that goes back to the winch, okay, running on it, and that obviously pulls them all up and down, you know, whether you're lowering or raising the roof. All right, some of the things you might come across. One is you might open it up one day and you'll find all these four cables all twisted, all right, all bound together, all right. So what's causing that is your lack of lubrication on this washer here on the main cable, all right. So the plate isn't rotating around the main cable like it should be, all right, because of lack of lubrication. And what happens is it drags the whole thing with it, all right. And then that's what binds these cables up, okay. So if you get that, right, then just loosen off the main cable a little bit, right. You'll have to prop the roof corners, right, and then unwind it, get it sorted, and then get some lubrication, right. Whether that be, you know, silicone spray or, you know, a little bit of grease or whatever, and get that washer, okay, and the cable where it sits inside the plate, get that nice and lubed up, so then it starts spinning around the main cable again, right, and you don't end up with that binding. An indicator of that perhaps can be on the outside when you're winding down, but for some reason the roof stops, you know, 20 odd centimeters short, and it doesn't seem to want to go down anymore, right? And that's that binding, right? Because it's wound around each other, and it's now shortened the actual cable run. Another one you might come across, and I've had this one actually, and it stumped me for a little bit, but eventually I worked it out. So the more you know about your winding mechanism and how it works, the better off you are as a fault finder, okay? Because, you know, right, I've seen that before, okay? Or I know what's going on, so therefore, you know, it must be in this location, etc., etc. Now, you'll know when something's wrong with an individual cable because something will wrong with that corner, okay? So, let's say one corner doesn't want to come down or doesn't want to go up. Right, so the others are doing their thing, but this one corner's not quite right. All right, and what can cause that is the cables. And I'll do my best. This is going to be quite difficult. Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, so you see the pulleys there. Now each pulley has its own little sort of bracket that it sits in. Okay, and that bracket, it goes all the way around the pulley. So what I'm saying is the cable can't actually come off a pulley 100%, but what it does do is it does come off the pulley, and it gets jammed between the outside of the little pulley and its bracket. And if that gets jammed in there, right, then that corner is not going to want to do its thing, all right? So it's jammed from coming up and down. So again, you need to know your access points, all right? So you can go straight to that corner, all right, and start your fault finding there. Now, this one happened to me coming back from Western Australia before Christmas. So what was happening is I was winding the roof down. Anyway, it stopped coming down, all right? So basically, it just stopped there. I kept and the cable got loose, or the winding handle, started freewheel. So I went back up again and then tried to come down. I did that a couple of times and wouldn't come down. But I did notice that the roof was coming down evenly, all right? So nothing was going on in the corners. It was all coming down, but it didn't want to go any further. So eventually, obviously, I had to succumb, take the cover off, get into the mechanism and see what's going on. So what was going on was that, I'll try and get a look at it. Looks pretty good actually, the old pulley. So what was going on is, as I was coming down, the main cable was jamming on itself on the winch. Right, so it jammed to the point where it didn't want to let go. So what I had to do is I wound back up just a little bit. Torch is getting in the way. I wound back up a little bit, and then I backed off about half a turn. So I knew there was, a couple of inches of slack. Then what I did is I came in here, I took the inspection hatch off. I knew there was a little bit of slack in the cable, and all I did was put my hand on top, right, not underneath or around, okay, hand on top, and I pushed down hard towards the floor, and then lo and behold, ping, it let go, right, and that confirmed straight away what I'd suspected, and then I was able to wind down the rest of the way. Now, if that happens to you, it could happen, it could keep happening, because now the cable, all right, it'll go back onto the winch exactly the same way nearly every time, all right? And just like a four drive winch, you should always pull them out every now and again and make sure they're not over wrapped over each other, okay, kinking, because eventually what will happen is if you keep doing that, then it's going to end up with a fray in one of the small strings within the main cable there. So what I did is propped all four corners. I came in here, and what I did is I put some pressure on there. So I used a pole, right, or whatever you might come up with, just to keep tension on these four cables, right. And then I got someone on the outside to wind down the winch, right. And what I did is I pulled the main cable, right, and then got them to wind on, and then with the torch I laid the cable back on by hand, right, to stop it from continuing, right, what it was doing, because it'll always go back on the same way once it'll retain some sort of memory, for want of a better term. So I laid that back on to make sure that it was laid, right, cross-leveled across the winch, right, to stop that, because otherwise it may be a one-off, right, or it may keep doing it. But anyway, it's an easy fix, all right. So once you're onto it, okay, you can actually do something about it. And then that was a good opportunity also. When I laid it back on, I made sure that just got a splinter then. I just made sure that I got a good amount of lube on that little thrust washer there, all right, to again stop that binding. Not that I've ever had it happen, but it just should be part of your maintenance. Another one to keep an eye on. Okay, you see that screw there? Alright, that's what's holding that push rod in that guide. That's all, alright. So a quick check of those as well, alright. It's not coming loose and it's not going to pop out on you. And yesterday we spoke about the riser arms, okay, support arms on the outside. Alright, so the best thing you can do, alright, get intimate with your lifting system, alright. Catch things before they go wrong, alright, that's the main thing. Alright. So you break a cable, righto. Obviously then you need to assist that corner to get it down, get yourself home or to a repair shop, alright. Now, for those mechanically minded, righto, you can pretty much get the cable, the swages, the swage tool, alright, eyelets, you can pretty much get everything from Bunnings, alright. Now if you break one, don't throw away your old cable, alright, make sure you hang on to it, because once you get your new cable and get your little swage tool, right, you can use that cable as a template, alright, and it's going to bring you a lot closer, right, to the length it needs to be, and it'll be a lot less mucking around adjusting the eyelets, okay, to get that corner right. That's pretty much it, guys. I forgot how hot it gets in these things when you're in the garage. So anyway, this is all part of my check before the Australia Day weekend, and obviously the camp is just done 9,000 kilometres from WA, you know, with a lot of overnighters, just single nights. Okay. I hope that helps, guys. You know, and I'll have a lot more confidence. All right, but this is a check you should do every now and again. All right, especially now. Check it now, righto, before the long weekend or the next time you go out, or just get in there and get a look at it. All right, you need to know what looks right, so the next time you inspect it, all right, you'll know straight away when something's not right. So look at it while it's in good nick. All right, but touch wood, the old 2011, the old orange model has been good to us. All right, I only had that little one winch problem, which wasn't really a problem. It's just one of those things, and that can happen to any winch, right? Including your four-wheel drive winch. It's just the way the mechanism is. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, and yeah, get in there, get to know your camper, right, and how things work, and how they should look. Thanks very much. Bye bye.